Pokemon is the biggest selling franchise in the world. It's loved by lots of people who range from different ages. Whether you know Pokemon from the anime, or even the TCG, the main part of Pokemon has always been the games. Pokemon Red and Blue came out all the way back in 1999 on the Game Boy, and as of writing the script, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet came out on Friday, November 18th. People adored these games and cherished the Pokemon they befriended on their journey. But there's just one small issue with these games. Once you beat one, well, that's just it. You could replay the game again, but where's the fun in that? You just repeat the game over and over again until it gets boring. However, people still play these Pokemon games that came out more than a decade ago. How do they find the fun in this? By making the game more challenging, using self-imposed rules. You've probably seen many different kinds of Pokemon challenges, but by far the most popular one is the Pokemon Nuzlocke, a challenge that has plagued many Pokemon fans and many Pokemon YouTubers. Hi, my name is Pokeshek, and you probably knew me as the small Friday Night Funkin' YouTuber who hasn't uploaded in like 4 months. I listen to those videos now. But I never intended to only upload FNF videos. My name says it all, Pokeshek. It's a combination of Pokemon and my actual name, so it's only fair that I upload a Pokemon video. Anyway, as seen by the title, I will be doing a Pokemon Hardcore Nuzlocke, which is a Nuzlocke but with more rules. Now the only question is, what game did I Nuzlocke? I said I did complete one of the hardest Nuzlocks ever, so I had to pick the hardest Pokemon game to play. But what is the hardest Pokemon game? Maybe it's Pokemon Platinum. There are so many tough battles after the 7th gym, like Cynthia. Oh, how about Pokemon Black 2 and White 2? The game has a lot of tough battles throughout the game. Or maybe it's Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. It has Ultra Necrozma, Totem Pokemon, which are hard, a lot of tough battles. Or maybe even Pokemon Red. Wait, but that game's not that hard. Oh, wait, no, not that one, yeah, that one. Wait, isn't that Radical Red? Pokemon Radical Red is a ROM hack made by Supercell. Wait, no. I meant Supercell. And a koala. If you don't know what Radical Red is, it's a modified version of Pokemon Fire Red that has Pokemon from Gens 1 through 8, lots of good quality of life changes, and a bunch of hard battles. Like a lot of hard battles. No, seriously, this game is really hard. So naturally, I decided my first Pokemon video on this channel, and the first video you'll probably see, is a hardcore Nuzlocke of a ROM hack that is deemed to be Unnuzlockable. Now if a pro Nuzlocke is watching this, I'm sorry, I know that Emerald Kaizo is harder than this, but I don't want to do that. But Radical Red is still a hard Nuzlocke. Now you might be asking, why the hell are you Nuzlocking Radical Red without any knowledge? Well, I have done some hardcore Nuzlocks myself, and I watch a lot of Flygon HG, so I would say I have some knowledge on Nuzlocking. You've also probably noticed that this channel only has like 490 subscribers, so it's not even monetized yet, but with the YouTube algorithm, it does prefer longer videos, and this video is probably going to be a long one. But this is where I enact my secret plan, and my plan to boost my numbers involves a certain someone, one who people call the godfather of Pokemon Nuzlocking. The self-proclaimed best Nuzlocker in the world. I'm of course talking about Jan, aka Pokemon Challenges. Now the question is, how do I get this guy to watch my videos? Well, as we all know, in life, there are patterns. Sometimes if one thing goes up, another thing goes down, and this pattern is applicable in Nuzlocking. What do I mean by this? Well, I figured out that the fewer subscribers you have, the better you are at Pokemon. Don't believe me? Take someone like Jin Animations, who has more than 11 million subscribers and sucks balls at Pokemon. Okay, well, she doesn't really suck balls because she's not into that, but you get the idea. On the other hand, someone like the aforementioned Flygon HG, who only has 200,000 subscribers, is essentially a Pokemon master who dwarfs everyone with superior knowledge of Nuzlocking. Now, I would consider my knowledge of Pokemon Nuzlocking to be between Jaden and Flygons, but more in favor of Flygons. I've also noticed how these large Nuzlockers only play mainline games, probably because they're all shit at Nuzlocking, and Jan needs content to tell them that they are shit. So if someone good is playing in this mainline game, where's the enjoyment in that? The Nuzlocke is going to be boring, and we all know they're not going to struggle through it and just fly through the game with minimal deaths and challenges. But here's where I spice things up. Radical Red is considered by many to be Unnuzlockable, even though many people have Nuzlocked it, like Jan. But instead of some adult who has been Nuzlocking for some time now, I, a 16-year-old sophomore in high school, will be doing the Nuzlocke. No one expects a child to be good at Nuzlocking. They're too stupid to comprehend the idea of pre-poisoning a Pokemon with guts. But I will show everyone that I am good at Nuzlocking, and it'll be so amazing that Jan himself will be impressed and realize he can make some good content by saying he reacted to a child. Now I'm pretty sure it just wasted the last 5 minutes of your life, and you're probably never gonna get it back. But I kinda want this video to be recognized, and I put a lot of effort into it. I mean, you could subscribe. That helps. Just click the button. It only takes 1 second. Okay, now I'm done rambling. We can finally get started on the video and see if I can complete a hardcore Nuzlocke of Pokemon Red. Alright, let's do this. We begin the adventure by starting a new game. Professor Oak greets us and I name myself Abhishek. That's my name. It's where the Shek and Pokeshek comes from. We also name our rival Shithead, but I didn't add the A because there's no space. The game also then tells us if we want any custom options on, and the only option I choose is minimal grinding mode. This means that there are no EVs and all Pokemon have perfect IVs. Oh, also my overlay is bugged because I used very stupid bindings for my death counter, which is why it says 2-0. I eventually noticed this after a while. After that, our character finally comes to life as we walk downstairs. Okay, but has anyone else noticed how your room is just the only thing upstairs? And then when you go downstairs, it's just a room with a giant table and some other stuff? Who in Kanto designed these houses? There's no bathrooms or kitchen in sight. Maybe this is why your mom wants you to leave the house, to go and save animals and balls. Not because she hates you, but because she knows being outside is better than living in Palatine. She asks us whether we have a preference on what starter we're going to pick. The ratio we pick indicates what starters we choose, so it's important we pick the strongest starter that will help us throughout the game. Now obviously, I'm a pro, and I fished this game a bait, so I'm pretty sure I know what the best starter is, and it should be obvious to everyone. Wait, did you just pick the Johto region? I'll come back to that later. For now though, I go back upstairs and interact with my NES. In the NES, I can enter in some cheat codes. The first code is a rare candy code, so I don't have to grind my Pokemon using wild Pokemon. The second code, however, is the care package cheat code. At certain points in the game, I will receive care packages, which are a bunch of items that the game gives me for free, and these items are normally obtained from all Pokemon, and a lot of people use it to Nuzlocked, so it's totally fair. I then attempt to charge grass for the first time, but Oak sees it as incredibly dangerous without assistance, so he then drags me to his lab and gives me the option to pick a starter from the Johto region. And of course I pick the strongest starter from Johto. I'm not a dumbass. Wait, you just picked fucking Chikorita? Okay, I should probably explain. In Red, lots of Pokemon receive many buffs, and all Pokemon have revamped movesets. Essentially, any Pokemon is somewhat viable if it has good buff stats and a good learn set. Because of these buffs, Chikorita, the Pokemon deemed as the worst starter, becomes the best starter. When Chikorita evolves into Meganium, it becomes a Grass Fairy type and gets the hidden ability Triage, an ability that gets priority to healing moves like Giga Drain, Drain Kiss, and Synthesis. Now, for some reason, the amount of priority that Triage has is +3, not +1. Hopefully that doesn't bite me in the ass. And then Chikorita pair. Now you might think that our rival will pick Cyndaquil because Cyndaquil is strong as Chikorita, but there's a reason I call him Shithead, as he looks at the Cyndaquil with disgust and demands that he has a Kanto starter instead. All Gen 1ers are shitheads after all. Oak gives him a Charmander instead, and Shithead walks back to the Cyndaquil Pokeball and starts shitting on it. Oh, like picking Game Freak's favorite Sugar Daddy isn't supposed to be better. Now equipped with said Sugar Daddy, Shithead challenges me to a battle, but I promptly shit on him by bashing my Plantano into his Salamander. A Helidor Berry ensured that pair would stay alive during the fight. Another thing I liked about this game is that if a consumable item is used during a battle, the item would be restored after the battle is won, so pair is still holding an Aron Berry even though it was used during the rival fight. I then get Oak's parcel in Viridian City, deliver it to him, and Oak then hands me some Pokeballs. This means I can finally go start getting some encounters. Red has a variety of encounters, so to make my teams very diverse and have lots of variety in them. Route 1 mainly consists of early normal types, and I just happened to find God itself, so I named the Bidoof Loaf. I then head to Viridian City, where the old man realizes I'm not an idiot, so he just hands me the TGTV without doing the catching tutorial. Nice. On Route 22, I catch a Sandygast. That's a Pokemon with 3 minis right there. Salt also learns Will-O-Wisp, which will be great for some extra support on our team. I can then go to the kid in Viridian City, who will give me the rare candies from the cheat code I entered. Before that, I entered this Pokemon Center where this guy enables some of my Pokemon to follow me, so that's cool. I can then talk to the kid outside who gives me 400 rare candies and EV berries for friendship. Well, I talked to him multiple times, so I end up having 999 candies. I then sell 99 of them for a lot of money. I also do one more thing before I get my encounter at Viridian City. By talking to this woman inside the school, I can do a puzzle battle. A puzzle battle is a battle where I can choose 3 rental Pokemon to use against someone. This woman has 6 level 100 Shedinjas, and I'm able to beat all of them with my 3 Pokemon. Well, 2 of the Pokemon did die in this, but I'm not counting those deaths because they're rental Pokemon. The overlay is still bugged. Yeah, I still didn't fix it yet. The woman gives me the Pokeball, so I'm able to heal my Pokemon 6 times without needing a Pokemon Center, so that's nice. Now it's finally time to get my encounter. The encounter I get here in Viridian City has the potential to help me in the long run. The 2 most common encounters, Shinx and Marine, are really useful due to the mandatory boss fight before Brock. Well, I could also get Sandile, which is also really good. But that's only a 5% encounter. There's no way I get that as my encounter. Alright, let's see what we can get. Sandile would be huge here. Right? Sandile is huge here. What else? Shinx would also be nice to have. Okay, oh! No way! Well then. I named Sandile Minced Meat. Okay, I have no idea why I named Sandile that, but I don't care. Crocodile is also a very good Pokemon in this game. Supercell made certain signature moves accessible to more Pokemon, and Pangoro, Drapion, and Crocodile all get access to Wicked Blow, an 80 base power Darta move that always crits. Okay, it does get a level 60, but the Sandile line also gets Intimidate, allowing for good utility. As I got around 2, an aid of Professor Oak hands me the Dex Nav. There was a third cheat code where I could have my Dex Nav automatically filled out, but that would allow me to guarantee my encounters, which is not allowed in Nuzlocked. This is also where the care package cheat activates for the first time, and I'm given a lot, and I mean a lot of items. On round 2, I get lucky and get a Shinx. I'll explain why in the electric type later. I named Small Line Mufasa. Now, one thing I forgot to mention is that this game has a built-in level cap, so I'm able to use my rare candies to level up my Pokemon right away. Some trainers, however, are skilled to have Pokemon around the same level as you, but that doesn't matter. My current level cap is level 15, so both Loaf and Mufasa both evolve into Bibarel and Luxio respectively. I then head back to the Pokemon Center and talk to this lady next to Nurse Joy. The lady is able to change my natures for free, so I kindly use this opportunity to give my Pokemon better natures. I then head to Viridian Forest, where I catch a Swaddle. Unfortunately, it evolves after the level cap, so Fashion is outclassed by Peristo. As I go up to get to Pewter City, I get stopped by a familiar face. It's Brendan from the Hoenn region, and I'm immediately challenged by him to a battle. This fight, however, is not level capped, so Pear one-shots Scorefish and Fashion one-shots his Trico. Easy battle. This battle, however, isn't the only boss in this forest. Some routes can contain what's known as a mini-boss, and the first mini-boss in this run is Lassan. This is what our team looks like. As you can see, if I get unlucky with Metronome, things can look bad. I lead Loaf against her Togepi, holding an Eviolite. Loaf has the ability Simple, which doubles stat genius, so I can use defense code to gain a +2 boost to my defense. Togepi lands Stomp and gets a crit, but it doesn't do much damage because Togepi has an attack stat of 20. Headbutt does about half, and then Togepi gets double kick. The defense boost means we can take and Rel, and then we kill Togepi with another Headbutt. Clefairy comes on next and survives a Headbutt with 1 HP, and then lands Smelling Salts, but it doesn't even do much with the Life Orb, so another Headbutt takes it out. Last is Autono. This Pokemon can be annoying with Wish, Yawn, and Protect, so I go for Headbutt, which is about half health, and then it goes for Yawn. I just go for Headbutt again, anticipating a Protect, but it doesn't go for Protect. The IA is really smart in this game, so I don't know why it didn't go for Protect, but I'm not complaining. As a reward, she gives me the Infinite Repel. Nice. After exiting the forest, we can now access a new secret area. This area is known as Digless Tunnel, but I counted this area and the actual Digless Tunnel as 2 separate areas. And this area is practically closed off anyways and only contains the TM for Thief. I backtrack all the way back to the lab to get the Time Changer, which allows me to change the time to day and night if I want different Pokemon. I find the regional forms for some of the Pokemon here better, so I change the time to night to try to get them, but I end up getting a Silicobra instead. I name him Woody, and he gets sent to the box. My final encounter for now is a Starly in Pewter City. I name her Delta, making my 3rd Pokemon with Intimidate when she evolves into Staravia. I level everyone up to level 15 and prepare to face Brock. Just kidding. Before you fight Brock, you actually have to go into the museum and fight the Johto gym leader, Faulkner. He can be kinda tough, hence why I want an electric type. He starts with Rufflet and I lead with Mufasa. By leading with Mufasa, I can anticipate a switch to Emolga, who has Lightning Rod. I switch to Mincemeat, predicting his switch. I hit Emolga with a Rock Throw after I get hit with an Air Cutter. This activates my Berry Juice, putting her almost at full health. Instead of switching out, I risk a crit and go for another Rock Throw. This was pretty stupid because Air Cutter has a higher chance to crit, but I go unpunished. I then switch to Salt, who tanks a hard Air Cutter. However, it does do less than half, so all we got to do is dodge 1 crit.
Oh my god.
Don't crit.
No!
Which we do not. Well, there goes my Pokemon with 3 immunities, marking the first death of the run. Plus the 16 supposed Pokemon who lost their sanity after watching me not dodge a crit and getting punished. My dumbass also finally sees the death counter, so I quickly fixed it, but I forgot to change the keybinds. I'm bringing low for the revenge kill with the priority Aqua Jet, and then Rufflet comes back out, so I switch to Mufasa, tank the intimidated Rock Smash. We then outspeed and one-shot it with a magnet boosted Spark. Corvisquire comes out last, but since Rock Smash didn't get a defense drop, I can stay in, tank one more Rock Smash, and one-shot Corvisquire as well. That wins us the battle against Faulkner, but it did come at a cost. Woody replaces Salt, and now it's time to fight Brock, the Rock-type gym leader. He's not a pushover, however, as his team has been buffed, but it's nothing I can handle. Leads up to Alolan Geodude, and I lead with Woody. Despite being 4 times beat to ground, I first go for a Rock Tomb. Not only do I break Sturdy, but I also don't get low enough to activate its custom variant. Geodude knows self-destruct. If I did go for Bulldoze turn 1, Gear would activate, and give Geodude priority for some big damage. Going for Rock Tomb turn 1 means I'm safe, and I kill Geodude with another Bulldoze. Brock then sends out his Vulpix. I'm pretty sure he had one in the anime, so that's why he has one on his team. I switched to Parry on a Hidden Power Grass, and then switched to Loaf on an Incinerate. I did forget that Incinerate burns up berries, but that shouldn't be an issue, because Loaf is tanking up to taking HP Grass, as an Aqua Jet doesn't one-shot. Oh, no, I get a crit. Nice. Onix comes out next. He does have a bit more attack, but he can't really hit as hard against Loaf, so 2 Aqua Jets after Sturdy takes it out. Last an Archon, who just dies to an Aqua Jet, so that's the first gym defeated with only 2 Pokemon. With a new level cap of 22, I can now evolve a few of my Pokemon. I add Delta back onto the team and box Woody forever. His only goal now is to shed more spotlight on the other dinkless terminal encounter. Delta then evolves into Staravia, followed by Pear evolving into Bayleaf. I then evolve Fashion into Swabloon, and after force feeding it the Palmic berries I got, remember there are no EVs so it's only raising friendship, Fashion then evolves into Leavanny. Also a Pokemon to have now. It'll be great against Misty when we get to her. Before I leave, I get stopped by a scientist telling me that my mother does not love me. Okay, maybe my theory was from the start of the game was wrong, but as a constellation price, he does give me a Dyna Expand. Still not enough to hide my pain. Well, anyways, my counter on Route 3 is Ekans. This would have been my 4th Intimidate Mon, but he has Shed Skin instead of Intimidate, so I didn't future Cobra Kai. We then make it to Route 4, where the shifty salesman would like to give me a Magikarp for the low price of $500. I mean, we already have over $500,000, so I guess I'll buy it. Gyarados is considered by many to be one of, if not the best Pokemon for Nuzlocking. It has great offense, solid bulk, and a good typing for pivoting. It also has Intimidate, making the amount of Pokemon with Intimidate plus seconds up to 5. The only bad thing about Gyarados this early is the fact that it learns a stab move level 30, but I mean that's only after the 2nd gym, so I'm pretty sure I can keep him alive by then. Anyway, I only have one more encounter before the next boss fight. I go to the bottom floor of Mount Moon to try to get some of the better encounters down there. I already have a lot of Intimidate mods, so it's not like they get to give me another one.
Are you fucking serious right now?
Okay, so Nimble the Mawile is by now my 6th Intimidate mod, and he's definitely the worst one as well. Alright, now it's now time for guys another boss fight. This time it's against Super Nerd Miguel, the False Maniac. His fight's a double battle, but it's more annoying than hard. I was playing this battle with the speed up and it was 7 fucking minutes long. This whole fight is just me switching in and out my Intimidate mons, while Sableye just spams status moves and just doesn't die with a cover. We clear this battle deathless though, so there's no point of going over it. Our next fight right after this is a fight against Rocket or Admin Archer, but I have a secret weapon against him, and that weapon is an 11.5 foot long snake. Ekans evolves into Brock at level 22 and learns Poison Jab and Sucker Punch. It's also Poison Dark type in this game, it has more defense and HP. I give Kai a Cherry Berry to not get paralyzed by a Prankster Thunderwave, but I forgot that Dark types are immune to Prankster, but that's not important. What's more important is I finally fixed my death counter so it actually works. I still forget to insert the badge and the Pokemon at the bottom, but don't let that stop you from watching Kai rip up Archer's whole team. Not even a How Strong Shot boosted Ice Wing from Mighty and I could kill Kai even with a crit. Anyways, my level cap increased to level 27 and was asked me head to Cerulean. Like Archer, some mini-bosses do have different level caps from the gym leader, so just keep that in mind. In Cerulean City, I can complete another puzzle battle to access the move relearner. I can do this for free and wherever I want to in my party. I reteach my Pokemon a few moves like Synthesis on Pear, Thrash on Gyarados, and Crunch, Ice Fang, and Thunderfang on Kai. I then proceed to shit on Shithead again, due to his Pokemon not being level scaled. This should be the last boss fight that doesn't have any level scaling, so that should be fine. After the battle, Shithead gives me the Poke Rider, which is essentially Fly early game. It's these quality of life changes that make this my favorite ROM hack. Now, even though I can go through Nugget Bridge and get 2 more encounters, I decide those encounters aren't necessary for the fight. Fun fact, Ludicolo can actually solo Misty's entire gym by spamming Mega Drain, so if I got that as my encounter in Viridian, then this gym would be a breeze. Since I don't have her, this fight is a bit challenging. Misty leads with Frogadier, and I lead with Mufasa. This is Miss Leaf's team. As you can see, she has a lantern with Volt Absorb. I tried to employ a similar strategy to this by baiting her Frogadier to use Flip Turn as I switched to Fashion. Unfortunately, Frogadier goes for Grass Knot, which just throws my entire plan out the window. Now I gotta strategize on the spot. Surprisingly, we outspeed and hit Frogadier with a Bug Bite. A held EV Light means it can live another hit and hit us for good damage with an Ice Punch. I kill Frogadier, and then Fulsa comes up next. And viewers, what I'm about to show you is definitely not my proudest moment, and might be the dumbest thing I've ever done in Nuzlocked. I switch to Gyarados to intimidate Fulsa as I use Icy Wind, dropping my speed. And well, let me show you what happens. The speed drop is annoying. Okay, we didn't take that much damage. Let's just... You're locked in. Oh shit. This is bad. Who are we screwing? Oh wait, is this it? Oh wait, I think Gyarados is dead. Gyarados is dead. Unless yeah, Gyarados is dead. Fuck me, I didn't think of that. That's such a good big loss. Now, I would go over the rest of the battle and explain how I witnessed a massacre of my party happen, but I won't. In fact, I managed to go through the rest of the battle without losing another mon. I did have to dodge a crit on our Floatzel though, but the battle ends up turning out fine. But losing Gyarados this early into the playthrough is a pretty big deal. It would help me out against so many fights and provide great support to my team. Anyways, with Misty defeated, she gets the second badge as we continue our Nuzlocke. Well, after burying my 21-foot pool noodle, my level cap was up to level 34, allowing Mufasa, Delta, and Pear to evolve into their final forms. Mismeat also evolves into Crocorock, so that's pretty nice. Anyways, I cleared through Nugget Bridge and catch a Petalil, which will never see the light of day. I also catch an Elekid from the Raid Den. I can use the Raid Den to guarantee my encounter by changing the day on my my very real Super Speed Game Boy Advanced. I can also get Hidden ability as well, but I'll explain why that's important in a little bit. I name him Jolt. He then evolves into Electabuzz, and after evolving my Electabuzz, I noticed two things. One, for some reason Pokemon aren't following me as much after I made to Cerulean. I don't fix this after much later into the game, but that's not that big of a deal. The second thing is that I realized I've never one-shot off my team on the overlay. Okay, look, this is my first video I'm making, and I'm putting this much effort into it, so please cut me some slack. On round 5, I catch a Vulpix, which I named Kurami, finally giving me a Fire type. The game also decides to give me another Fire type in the form of a Sunkern on round 6. Sunflowers and other Pokemon got heavily buffed in this game, including becoming Grass Fire type, getting lots of special attack, and more moves. I named the Sunkern Sunny. Anyways, I made to Vermilion City with a new gold mine to get the 8-gem for Cut. Celadon and Saffron City have very useful things there, so I need Cut to access them before Surge. However, getting Cut is no easy task. Viewers, prepare for trouble because shit is about to go double. There are two extremely challenging double battles on the SSN, followed by another battle with Brendan. This was really added in the 3.0 update, so newer versions of the game are actually hard to Nuzlocke. Speaking of Brendan, since you don't fight him on the SSN now, we can actually now access Digless Tunnel, where I probably catch a Diglett named Whack. Oh sorry, I actually catch a floor right there. I also catch a Scraggy who will never see the light of day, and never know what sunlight is. Kinda like League of Legends players. Anyways, I decided it's finally time to fight the first set of double battles. This battle's whole gimmick is the use of pledge moves. The battle isn't that hard, but I narrowly avoid a catastrophe when I switch in Pear on a fire pledge. It doesn't crit, so we're making out this fight deathless. The second fight, however, is a lot more scary. This fight revolves around the use of Storm Drain and Surf, doing lots of damage to both of my Pokemon and making Storm Drain Pokemon much stronger. I can, however, take advantage of this by trying my luck and getting a Finneon at the SSN, but I get a Wimpod instead. Not mad about that though, because Ghost Flood is still an amazing Pokemon. Shredder will be useful though, as it's able to one-shot the Eviolite Leap and be a really good water resist with its Great Ball. I eventually get into a position where the enemies Nidoqueen and Luminon are staring down Shredder and Whack, who has evolved into 3-floor shit. I use Date to avoid a Scald from Luminon, and Shredder retaliates with the first impression to the fish. Unfortunately, while Whack is able to kill the Nidoqueen, Shredder isn't fast enough, and Luminon scalds Whack, killing him. Shredder Revenge kills Luminon, and that's all that's left is Gastron. I bring out Fashion and detect them. Gastron decides to target Shredder, and after a few more turns, we're quickly able to end this battle. Now you might be wondering, why didn't Gastron target Fashion? Shouldn't have targeted him because he's weak to poison? Well, that's because he made Fashion hold a Kebia Berry, because he couldn't Oko Gastron due to its Rindo Berry. Now, I think it's time I talk about the AI in Valkyrie and how it works when deciding what move to use. I'm not fully confident in this, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. In this game, the enemy can see what item your Pokemon was holding. If this was a one-on-one fight, Gastron would see the Kebia Berry and see if using a weakened Sludge Bomb would do more damage. If Gastron had a strong move, it would use that instead, rather than using Sludge Bomb. Let me show you with a better example. Let's say I was using Leavanny against an opponent Zoroark. If the Zoroark knows Dark Pulse and Sludge Bomb, and my Leavanny is holding a Kebia Berry. To determine what move the enemy will use, the Zoroark will calculate what move does the most damage. If Leavanny wasn't holding the Kebia Berry, Zoroark will always go for Sludge Bomb because it does the most damage. But because of the berry, Dark Pulse will do more damage, and therefore Zoroark will go for it instead. The enemy also knows your stats and natures and will take that into consideration as well. In the double battle, the enemy will choose what move does the most damage into a certain Pokemon. In the double battle on the SSN, Gastron could do the most damage with Sludge Bomb and Shredder, so therefore it targeted him. In Nuzlocking, it's always important to anticipate what moves your Pokemon could use against you. And it's always important to plan out each fight and not wing each fight. The three best tools I used for planning my fights was the spreadsheet with all the teams for the boss fights, the Pokedex to know the stats and movesets of all the Pokemon, and the Relic Red damage calculator. These three tools allow Nuzlocking to be like a puzzle and give you the ability to try and find the right pieces to complete the puzzle. Anyways, enough about the Relic Red AI and back to Nuzlocking. The fight against Brandon is pretty easy, so there's no reason to talk about it. And after flushing the floor shit down the drain, we can finally get the HM for Cut. With Cut, we can now access the Rock Tunnel. On our way, I catch an Execute named Omelette, and then around 10, I fish up a Barbwitch which is named Boof. These two encounters will help some spotlight, but the Lunatone I catch in Rock Tunnel will not. In the box, you go to Suffer. Anyways, I cleared the Rock Tunnel and finally make it to Lavender Town. I think I speak for everyone when I say that Rock Tunnel is the worst part of your Kanto game. Even with Flash, it still sucks. But anyways, I finally make the Celadon, which opens up a lot of possibilities. The first thing I do is make my way to the department store and buy some evolution items. Using a link cable, I can evolve Jolt into Electivire, a really good Pokemon in this game. Electivire is now Electric Fighting type and has Iron Fist as its hidden ability. It also learned the Zeraora signature move, Plasma Fist, at level 70, which is a 100 base power physical type electric type move. That's also a Fist move. As excited as I am for Electivire, I'm actually more excited for something else in Celadon. There's a man in Celadon who will give you some starter eggs for shards. You can't get all the starters from them, as some starters are given throughout the story or after some gym rematches, but nevertheless, starters are still strong. I buy a 5-star egg for now as I make my way to Saffron. In Saffron, I can talk to someone who can change my ability to a hidden ability, finally giving pair, Triage. I can then fly to Celadon so I can hatch my egg there. The first egg hatches and it gives me a Fennekin. It was pretty good. Delphox was notorious for being insane in Relic Red, as its hidden ability was Magic Card and it got access to Mind Blow, meaning it could use 150 base power move without any recoil. It did get nerfed however, as Mind Blown is now a level 100 move, but Gandalf is still a really good addition to the team. I then buy another fire egg and hatch it in Vermilion City to get a Chimchar. Not what I wanted, but Wukong is still a really good Pokemon when it evolves. But in Lavender Town, I hatch one more fire egg and I get the starter I wanted, a Cyndaquil. Now you might be asking, why would I want a Cyndaquil? Well, that's because Typhlosion gets a new ability called Blazing Soul, which gives priorities to fire-type moves at full HP. In other words, it's Gale Links, but for fire-type moves. Typhlosion also used to have access to Eruption, but like Delphox, it got nerfed by having the move be a level 100. Still though, Sonic would be an amazing addition to have. Anyways, now it's finally time to fight Surge. I've added Sunny, Boof, and Karami to the team, and evolved all of them. Surge leads with his Pincurchin, and I lead with Boof. The first part of the plan is simple: stall out the electric terrain. I can do this by switching to Shredder on an HP Grass, and then switch back to Boof on a Discharge. I repeat this one more time, and then switch to Pair on the last turn. Pincurchin went for Scarlet turn because of Relic Red AI. It will catch on after 3 turns. Pincurchin is part Water type in this game, so I'm able to take it out with 2 Mega Drains. He then sets up his Manectric, and I switch to Sunny when he Mega Evolves. Oh yeah, Mega Evolution happens after the 3rd gym, but Sunny's pretty good check into it. Mega Manectric unfortunately goes for Volt Switch instead of going for a Flame Burst. From what I can tell, the AI loves to use moves that make them want to switch out. Raichu comes out next, anticipating a nasty plot I switch Shredder. It does get greedy, so I can kill with a priority first impression. Vigavolt comes out next, so I switch to Karami. The sun goes up due to drought, and we get hit hard from a Volt Switch. Manectric comes back out, so I switch to Boof on a Flame Burst, and then to Sunny on an HP Grass. We can safely tank a Sun boosted Flame Burst and then retaliate with a Solar Power boosted Giga Drain. With the Citrus Berry, we cover most of our health back, allowing us to use one more Giga Drain. Imagine losing to a Sunflora. That's just embarrassing. But next up is Boltund, Surge's most problematic Pokemon. With 100 base attack, 121 base speed, and strong jaw, this Pokemon hits hard and is super fast. But Boof should be taking enough to survive 2 Psychic Pangs from this Demon Dog and kill it with an Earthquake. Yeah, this should just kill. So we hard switch to this. Psychic Fangs does 37%. A crit would be bad. Yeah. quickly. Oh. A crit would be bad. Okay. Maybe I should have planned on the crit. This is looking bad. I frantically look for a way out so that this British guard dog doesn't start ravaging my whole team. But I see one way out, but it does come at a cost. I twitch a Sunny who barely survives the Psychic Fang, and then claps back with the Giga Drain. Unfortunately, it's not enough healing, so Sunny tragically goes down to another attack. I was really looking forward to using Sunflower due to its buff statful typing. Oh, side tangent, I should probably mention that the recording of this Nuzlocked was done between September and October, and I finished writing the script in December. And currently, it's May. My god, I've been playing too much Overwatch. It's just so much procrastination in one video. Where was I? Oh yeah, Sonny just fucking died. Well anyways, I switched to Joel who can put down the stupid dog with a Mach Punch. Last is the Vikavolt. I can use Fire Punch, which doesn't just do much damage due to Knockerberry. And then Vikavolt hits me with a critical hit Energy Ball. Doesn't look like another Fire Punch can kill, so I go for the Saber option and switch it to Crony, taking an Energy Ball and killing the slow bug with a Flamethrower, winning us the battle. That was a very sloppy fight, but the carnage and suffering will still continue. I'm 9 pages into my script, and I'm only on the 3rd gym. Well anyways, there isn't much to do between the gym fights. Actually, the only noteworthy thing before Erica is the Minchino I caught on Route 8 named Designer. Anyways, now it's time to fight Erica. Also, for some reason my death counter says 6 instead of 5, so just don't worry about that. Anyways, Erica leaves with the Rillaboom, and I leave with Sonic, who incinerates him with a priority Lava Plume. This brings out her Venusaur, which is Erica's preferred Mega of choice. Now, during the battle, I assumed that Venusaur would go for Earth Power because I assumed it'd kill Sonic or do a shit ton of damage, but it didn't. Instead, it goes for Sleep Powder when I switch into Delta. It turns out that Earth Power only did 64 to 76% of damage, so the AI went for Sleep Powder instead. Actually, it might have been less because the AI probably calculated with the regular Venusaur instead of Mega Venusaur. Well, a Chesterberry cures the sleep, but without a Chesterberry, we can't reliably take out Venusaur. Unless it misses Sleep Powder. Well, that was extremely lucky. Another dual wing beat takes out the overweight frog, as Sony Electric comes up next. I switched to Parry on a Thunderbolt, and then crying on HB. Oh no, that's a Thunderbolt. Well, I have no idea why I went for that, but it's not that big of a deal. Electric then starts to pop off after that insane prediction, so much so that it just fucking blows up. I can't prepare though with the hell Chilon Berry. Unfortunately though, Superior comes out next, and Kurami's sitting on 29 HP, and I can't really switch out because Superior will start to sweep my team with Conjugate's 113 speed stat. So I have to fire off one last quick attack to break Superior's Focus Sash, and then she falls to Elite Storm. But with the Focus Sash broken, Sonic can come in for a priority Lava Plume and roast the Murder Snake. Last up is Meganium, and I actually forgot the sun was up because of Kurami, so I switched Sonic out to Nakai, but that doesn't matter. A Poison Jab impales the dinosaur, winning us the battle. It did come at the cost of our 9-tail box though. With Erica defeated, we get access to a lot of goodies. The first one is the Giga Drain TM from Erica, giving Para a decent grass typing for Triage. The second is an egg gift to me at the Celadon Poké Center. And last but certainly not least is access to the Game Corner. Not only are we able to buy TMs here, but we're also able to buy Pokemon as well. The Pokemon includes all the pseudo-legendaries and other powerful strong Pokemon. I'm only allowed one Mon here, and the one I pick, who is arguably the strongest Mon here, is Honedge. I can also buy Shiny form as well. I mean, just look at Shiny Aegislash. You see that right there. I'll let you decide what that is. Anyways, Aegislash is a disgusting Pokemon, with its ability to change forms depending on when it's attacking or protecting, and because of its slow speed, it's able to take hits in its shield form and then dish out damage in its blade form. And then you can just King Shield to return it back to its shield form. Also, its typing is excellent. Oh, and those TMs? Yeah, I bought every single fucking TM here. I mean, was I not going to take value of these TMs? No. Anyways, it's time for the Rocket Hideout, and since this area is considered a different area from Celadon, I decided to hatch the egg here. The egg I got from Celadon can hatch it to an Hisuian form. Now, if you haven't noticed by the background of my overlay, I really like Zoroark. It's my favorite Pokemon, so getting a Hisuian one would be great. But then again, pretty much all the Hisuian forms are pretty good, so I won't be putting on which one I... What the fuck is that? Wishy-washy Sevi? Okay, so apparently there are custom forms in this game, and Poseidon here is one of them. In schooling form, it's apparently a Ghost Dragon type that pretty much has the same stats as the regular school form Wishy-washy. Well anyways, with a new fish and evolving Mincemeat into Crocodile and Wukong into Infernape, I'm able to beat out Giovanni and grab the Silph Skull. With the Silph Skull, I'm able to go into Pokemon Tower and seek the Ghost. And I can catch a Haunter named Spoopy, but I think I only use him once throughout this Nuzlocke, so sorry to all my Gengar lovers out there. The next mission on my agenda is to save Mr. Fuji's from someone's dead mom or whatever. This Total Alolan Marowak not only gets an Omni boost, but also it's holding a Stick Club and gets a new ability called Bone Zone, where bone moves ignore immunities and deal double damage to not very effective. But my plan to beat this thing is very simple. Use 4 Intimidate Mons and drop attacks so it can't do any damage. It does risk some crits, but the only thing that should be playing around the crits is the Marowak, as we just one-shot with a crit shot off of Poseidon. Well, that was easy. Anyways, Fuji gives us the Poke Food, so I can go to Route 16 and cast a Snorlax there. Goober will be a great addition to the roster with its great bulk and attack. I then go to Route 12, the most important route of this Nuzlocke. This route is important because in these cold and icy waters houses the savior of this run. The Pokemon that will destroy all of our enemies. The Pokemon that will carry us to victory. Okay, well, Shelter isn't the savior of this run. I just needed one to guarantee catching the savior of this run later on. But Herman here will somehow, unironically, become the hero that no one saw coming. And she will go down in history as being one of the most iconic Pokemon in my roster. It won't be long until we see her heroism. But first I beat up Chuck, the fighting type Zoto Gym leader, to get the expert build. Now, unbeknownst to me, was the ability to get a Mudkip in Saffron City by beating up the Dumbass Kid. No, that's what the kid is called. And because of my stupidness, I end up foolishly picking this dog shit Brawler from the dojo. Because of my misdeeds, I try to repay my sins to Lord Arceus by trying to get a good water type starter, despite not being able to hatch a Mudkip from the egg. Cause you know, one of my water types is dead, another one is also dead, one of them acts like a pussy and is a bug, and the other one's a Bibarel. My incompetence decides that the best place to hatch an egg was a tunnel that is literally a sewer without shit in it. And that shows because I ended up hatching a Totodile out of it, which for some reason didn't get overly buffed like the other Johto starters, so I headed back to Pallet Town to try hatching a good water starter. Besides, I'm on home turf, so my luck has to be good. Okay, so to the naked eye, Empoleon isn't the most remarkable Pokemon by any means. Or is it? Only time will tell, as my next objective is to tackle Silphco. I also beat up Bugsy to get the TM for U-turn. Obviously it was a piece of cake, there were no close calls against the bug Pokemon specialist. Silphco is pretty tough, as it contains a team-up battle with Brendan against Rocket Adams, Archer, and Ariana, and a fight against Giovanni. There's also a rival fight against Shithead, who has some tough Pokemon, but I want to mention the beginning of this fight. To take out Shithead's Staraptor, I decided to use Designer, who was evolved into Chinchino. I was planning on outspeeding it and killing Staraptor with a Heartstone boosted Rock Blast with Skilling, but I kind of forgot about Intimidate, and Staraptor knows close combat, so you probably know what's about to happen. Except for the fact that Staraptor goes for U-turn. Remember how I said the AI loves to use moves that make them want to switch out? Well, yeah, there you go. Well, anyways, the rest of the fight goes well. After beating Shithead, the man next to him gives us a Lapras as a reward. This encounter counts as a Silphco encounter. Lapras also got buffed in this game and is now a Water Dragon type instead of a Water Ice type. But anyways, it's time for some of the most challenging fights in the game. These Team Rocket fights have been set to cause carnage. You will never know if anything will go your way here. The fate of my run is in the hands of Team Rocket. I beat both these fights with one Pokemon. So while trying to prepare for this fight, I consulted to YouTube to get an idea of how the AI worked for this fight, and this led me to a video made by Genosi where he sold the battle with an Empoleon, which is exactly what I did. Empoleon's hidden ability was changed from Defiant to Competitive. Competitive is an ability that raises a Pokemon's special attack stat by 2 stages when one of its stats has been dropped. Defiant is the same thing but for physical attack, but Empoleon has a higher special attack than a physical attack. Since Ariana's Incineroar has Intimidate, he drops Pinko's attack by 1 stage and then raises his special attack by 2 stages. Archer's Godstill also does the same thing from Bernard's Masquerain, but it doesn't even kill Masquerain after a fake out from Incineroar. Masquerain did get 10 points added to its HP, but that is still surprising to see. A Skull from Pinko kills Incineroar, and Masquerain does huge damage into a Hot Topic employee before going down. Archer then switches to Mawile, which also has Intimidate, and Brendan brings out a Subtile and Mega Balls it after Ariana Mega Balls her Mawile. But Brendan took his logic pills today and kills Godstill as Pinko outspeeds and kills Mega Mawile with a +4 Scald. Primarina and Aegislash come out next, so I target Primarina with a Flash Cannon. With its high special defense stat, it's able to tank the Flash Cannon, and Aegislash also King Shields here, so Subtile's turn is completely useless as they both take a Hyper Voice that is Water type due to Liquid Voice. And then Archer decides to do the biggest brain play ever. He switches out Aegislash into Houndoom, anticipating Brendan to go for HP Fire, but Brendan targets Primarina instead with a Mega Drain, killing it. So my Scald goes into Houndoom, killing it before he can even Mega. and people say this fight is challenging. Aegislash comes out again, but quickly falls after, winning us the battle with only one large penguin, after humiliating the rocket at him into branding his as a Trico as a gift, which we can't use because we already got the Lapras, so this Trico will live in the box as a filthy op. He will never see the light of day and will continue to live his life as an op. But it's not over yet, as we now have a riveting and shall we sweep Giovanni with the Cloister. Yep. By giving Hermit a leftovers, we can offset the damage taken by the Sandstorm. Hippowdon will always have rocks on turn 1, so he can use his turn to get up a free Shell Smash. With Skill Link and Icicle Spear, Hermit outputs crazy damage, and I can also protect on a few turns so I can install the Sand out. Excadrill can outspeed me though because of Sand Rush, but since Cloister has a defense stat of 180, a -1 to its defense means we're safe to a crit. Speaking of Cloister, can we just talk about its design? Like, is it just me, or am I the only one who thinks this Pokemon looks like a vagina? Like, I'm pretty sure it's just an oyster turned 90 degrees with a smiley face in the middle of it, but I mean, come on, it intentionally looks like a pussy. Anyways, enough about my rant. After killing Excadrill, I'm sitting at 61 HP. Not the best amount of HP, because Kangaskhan comes out next. This is bad because it's a roll to kill him with an Icicle Spear. I protect to avoid Fake Out as Kangaskhan Mega Pulse, but if Hermit misses the roll, she's dead and will die like a hero. Let's see if she can do it. Alright, come on. Come on, Hermit, you got this. Only high rolls. Oh my god. Oh my god. That was a crit. It lives! My prayers to the Pokemon God Arceus. Thank you. It was... And Hermit fucking holds on. What a legend. As the Sandstorm subsides, Garchomp comes out last, but without its Sandveil, it has no way of living, as we impale the shark. Not even a Yashi Berry can save him. As Garchomp falls, Hermit wins the battle on 69 HP. From this day, the legend of Queen Hermit was born. She has become the Queen of the Seas. Imagine being Giovanni right now. You stormed and raided this company only for you and your admins to be washed up by 2 water types. Pun intended. Well, anyways, as things, the president gives us a Master Ball. That doesn't matter though. What does matter is when I try to enter Sabrina's gym, the president assistant stops me and hands me the Mega Ring. While Mega Evolution is a powerful tool, we can't Mega Evolve any of our Pokemon yet. So when fighting Sabrina, we're still at a slight disadvantage. Actually, we're already at disadvantage due to the fight being a double battle. Oh yeah, for some reason, Sabrina's the 5th gym leader in this game, not the 6th. I lead with Minced Meat and Hexcalibur. I knock off into Indeedee and an Iron Head into Hatterene, both one-shot, leaving Sabrina down to 4 Pokemon already. She then sends out Porygon 2 and Crawdon, who are not Psychic types, but whatever. I double up into Crawdon because of its Focus Sash, and let Porygon 2 set up a Trick Room. Next up in Sabrina's roster is Ursaluna, who is also not a Psychic type. Wait, why does only half of Sabrina's team Psychic type? I mean, I know it's a Trick Room team, but there's some other slow Psychic types like Bronzong. Ursaluna has Guts and is holding a Flame Worm, so it will always go for Protect. So I take this opportunity to switch into Omelette, who was evolved into Exeggutor. Remember him? From all the way back on Route 9? You don't remember him, whatever. I also just knock off into Porygon 2 to get rid of his Eviolite, as he just pieces out and switches into Gardevoir. Now, normally, Exeggutor is faster than Ursaluna, but I made Almond hold an Iron Ball, an item that has the speed of the user, so after switching Goober in place of Mincemeat, Almond is able to cut up the Charmin mascot covered in shit with the Leaf Storm. Gardevoir also Mega Evolves and does some good damage with a Pixelated boosted Hyper Voice, but since Sabrina's Mega has a base speed of 100 and Trick Room is still up, I can switch into Hexcalibur as he watches Goober flatten Mega Gardevoir with the Heavy Slam. Porygon 2 is pretty much useless now, so he goes down soon after, winning us the battle. And people say double battles are hard. Well, that victory marks the first time I did not experience a death between 2 gyms. Let's hope we can continue that streak. Well anyways, now we reach the part of the game that fucking sucks. In older versions of Route Route 12, 13, 16, and 18, and the Bike Road were all like normal routes. But in 3.0, these routes become permanent weather routes. There are 2 ways to get the future now. If you go through Route 16/Bike Road and Route 18, you have to deal with the Sand and Rain teams. And if you go to Routes 12 and 13, you fight Hail and Sun teams. These battles aren't a joke either. There are teams of 5 that use Mega Evolution. I decided that going through the Sand and Rain would be easier, because Sun teams normally have both Fire and Grass types, so that would be harder to deal with, while the Rain teams are primarily Water types. I'm not going to go through all these battles because they end up turning out fine, especially since one of the battles I ended up soloing with Hermit. That's 2 battles sold with her. There's no stopping this queen. Between these 2 fights, I hatched Popplio on Route 17 with a starter deck, which finally gives me a reliable water type. Mawile is bad without her Mega, and you don't get it after Blaine. Prisma here wasn't the first deck though, because I ended up hatching a Totodile, but Duke's close. As I make the road 16, the sands have spared me and allowed me to bathe myself in some much needed hydration. It feels great. I conquered the sands without any casualty, and now I was being showered in the rain. I foresee this going well. Okay, there was really no way out of it, other than risking a lot of crits, but fashion here was the only casualty in the weather war, so now we're able to move on to the future. I also finally fixed the falling Pokemon issue, so now you can see them walk outside their balls. Anyways, after arriving in Fuchsia, I can do two very important things here. The first is to unlock the ability to teach egg moves to my Pokemon. This can allow me to teach my Pokemon moves that they would normally learn from breeding, but before that, I have to pick up what's possibly the most important encounter in this run on Route 19. And I can guarantee it thanks to catching Hermit. What encounter am I talking about? Well, if you saw Pokemon Challenges Demo Classic video, then this encounter will be familiar. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to the most important encounter of this run. Infiltrate the Slowbro. Slowbro's ability is Regenerator, which allows it to heal itself when it switches out. But when Slowbro Mega evolves, its ability changes to Shell Armor, preventing any critical hits from happening. Slowbro also learns the moves Slack Off and Iron Defense, coupled with Mega Slowbro's amazing stats, and this Pokemon becomes the best physical defensive tank in this game. Need more? Well, Slowbro also learns Body Press, which is a move that deals damage based on physical defense. And with Slowbro's 130 special attack stat, this Pokemon can take hits defensively and dish out surprisingly low damage. And with Protect, Slack Off, and Toxic, we can easily stall Pokemon with it as well. We do need Surf Power to get to Mega Stone, so we still need to beat Koga. For now though, we have another fight against Brendan, but we easily deal with them, so we can skip this fight. I'm also able to backtrack to Route 15, and I get lucky by catching a 4% Ferrothorn named Gyro. He joins the rotating roster as we go to fight Koga and his poison types. He only has 2 poison types on his team, and with the rest being fast Pokemon. He leads with a Swallow, and I lead with Sonic. And against Swallow, he's fast, but I'm faster. A Blazing Soul, charcoal boosted flamethrower takes out Swallow as he brings in Greninja. I switch to Parrot, who's running a Yajiberry. Greninja's other moves are not very effective, so I go for a Draining Kiss in case he switches out into something that resists Grass, but Greninja goes for Ice Beam, doing minimal damage. Another Kiss puts the Frog to sleep, which is not how it's supposed to go, but oh well. Toxtricity comes out next. Despite being Koga's Mega, Gyro completely walls this thing. It does have Volt Switch, so it switches out into Excelgor, but I just go for a Leech Seed anyways. Excelgor can't do much to Excalibur except for a U-turn, so I go for a Gyro Ball. By having Excalibur hold an Iron Ball, its speed is reduced, making Gyro Ball do tons of damage into Drapion. Drapion's only 2 moves are Wicked Blow and Cross Movement, so I switch to Mincemeat, who tanks 2 blows before taking it out with an Earthquake. Excalibur comes back out, goes for a U-turn against Excalibur, bringing out Toxtricity, and I switch to Gyro, who tanks an Overdrive. He Volt Switches into Excalibur again, and I use another Leech Seed. Seeing that Excalibur is just going to go for U-turn instead of Focus Splash, I Protect for 1 turn to get back to full health, and use Toxic as Dragon Ball comes out. He has Flamethrower, so I switch into Thick Fat Goober, who tanks no damage at all from the pseudo-legendary. Some more U-turn shenanigans ensue as Excalibur dies to a crunch, and Toxtricity comes back out after Goober's Citrus Berry activates. Gyro comes back out again, and tanks a Boom Burst. You wanna guess what I went for again? Yeah. I switched to Goober on the Flamethrower, and with Dragon Pulse on like 1 HP after the residual damage, he goes for yet another U-turn as I nailed the Giant Reptile with a high horsepower, killing it. And then Koga says, 1 more Pokemon left. I've been counting on this one. And then it dies to a Life Orb. Well, that fight was pretty easy, even though Koga didn't have a type specialty. I'm pretty sure his whole gimmick was that he had fast Pokemon, but that did not help him against tanky Pokemon and Pokemon priority-based moves, so that's Koga defeated. As a reward for defeating Koga, he says he'll give me an item if I show him a speedy Pokemon. Which I don't have, but I guess I'll come back to you later, I guess. Anyways, with the ability to surf now, I can get the Slowbro Knight, allowing me to Mega Evolve my Slowbro. I also make my way to the power plant, where I go catch a... wait, hold up. Well, I can't really use that, can I? I mean, it violates the hardcore Nuzlocke rules.
Now we just win, right? Oh, Jesus Christ. My heart, dude.
I'm sorry, is that Zapdos? Wait, if Jan can use Zapdos, then I can use Zapdos, but I'm already fine with Jolt. I mean, he just learned Plasma Fist and has Iron Fist to boost that. I mean, I could use it, let alone catch it. Well, now I have Birdbrain in the box, but should I use it? Do I have to use it? Was there no other good electric types? No, I have Jolt, and he's great. I don't need this cardboard paper bird. I have a... what is Electro supposed to be? He's a... I'm just check. Oh, it's a gorilla. Yeah. Well, yeah, I have this Tesla clothed gorilla on my team. I don't need legendaries to... Wait. Is that a Keldeo? Wait. Why is he using a mythical? Surely he didn't beat the game with the... I mean, that violates the rules of...
Is that a Latios and a Suicune?
Have people been using legendaries to Nuzlocke this game? There's the... But no, but in all honesty though, it doesn't matter if other Nuzlockers want to use legendaries. It's their rules. It's their Nuzlocke, so they can do where the fuck they want to have a fun experience. But I need to assert my dominance over everyone. I will show everyone that I can Nuzlocke this game without the need of legendaries. I will show all of them that I am better than them. With my newfound motivation, I decided to fight Johto Gym Leader Price. And this fight ends up being easier because out of the 3 teams you could have had, you got the team that doesn't sub Hail. With the addition of Oogway the Torkoal I caught on Route 14, this fight is very easy. As a reward, Price gives us a Choice Scarf, a really useful item to allow us to outspeed any Pokemon. And with that, by the way, I'm able to reach Cinnabar Island. After catching some more useless mons, I go back to Kogo to see if I have a fast one. Which I do not. I even evolved the Treecko into a Subtile and have him hold a Megastone to see if that would work, which it did not. So I go catch a random Weavile to show it to Kogo. I never used this Pokemon in battle, I only caught it to show Kogo. The speed stat I is looking for is based 125 speed and above, and half the Pokemon that have that speed stat are mostly legendaries. After being somewhat impressed about my speed, he gives me a Life Orb. And after obtaining the Life Orb, I put Weavile into the box next to Sceptile where he could suffer alongside of him. But then I remembered I named the Weavile Slave, so I promptly released him. Was that sentence racist? Doesn't matter, it's not like I can get canceled at the stage of YouTube. I now have another fight against another familiar face from the Pokemon Mansion. It's May, the other Hoenn rival. This is her team. As you can see, her whole team consists of very strong Pokemon like Mega Blaziken, so I need a very good strategy so I can beat her. Hey, I mean, what can I say? That's what happens when you try to challenge Green Hermit. Anyways, after being blown away by Hermit's power, May gives us a Torchic. Well, now it's time to fight Blaine, and I've added Lapras and Gandalf to help us out during the fight. I lead with Lapras into Torkoal, who sets up the sun. I go for a Rain Dance as Torkoal just sets up rocks, and I guess Torkoal had it with life, so he just accepts the Rain Boost Surf. I guess that makes things easy now with the sun. He then brings out Exeggutor next. Now, I don't know if this is a mistake, but in the docs, it says the Exeggutor's ability is Harvest, despite also holding a Focus Sash. Now, Chlorophyll would have made more sense for a Sunty, but whatever. Hexcalibur still could check into it in the rain. Without the sun, Wither Ball from Exeggutors aren't super effective, so a Shadow Claw followed by a Shadow Sneak takes it out. As the rain ends, Cinderace is brought next. A King Shield as it goes for Sucker Punch, and since I'm in my shield form, Cinderace goes for a Pyro Ball switch to Amphitrite. I Mega Evolve with it and use Iron Defense after taking another Pyro Ball. And with that defense move, Cinderace decides to switch into Sunflora as I go for a Toxic. That Toxic really helps because this Sunflora knows Seed Flare, a 120 base power grass type move. I switch to Excalibur, who takes a ton of damage from a not very effective move, but I can protect from more Toxic damage, and switch to Poseidon on an Earth power as the Toxic kills it. Sunflora is a very strong Pokemon, especially in the sun, to make use of Chlorophyll and Solar Power. Sucks that we lost stars early into the game. Cinderace comes back out again, but I'm in a sticky situation. Cinderace is hitting hard with its Life Orb boosted attacks, and I neglected to teach Slack Off to Amphitrite. I switched to Amphitrite for more Life Orb chip, and then Lapras, who quad resist fire. I decided to set up a Rain Dance on this turn, cause why not? But that turns out to be a blessing, because Cinderace decided that its best move now is High Jump Kick, and I randomly click Protect, so it loses half of its health. And one more switch into my Ghost type Wishy-Washy ensures Cinderace's fate. Fifth is Typhlosion, who is about to be firing off priority eruptions. Gandalf is a pretty good check into it though, so I switch into him on an HP Fire, and then click Scorching Sands. But the AI reads my play and switches to Charizard. Well, I did not see that coming, but oh well. I switch to Goober as Charizard Mega Evolves into its Y form. Goober does take a lot of damage from an Air Slash, but after taking one more Solar Beam, which I'm assuming is his most powerful move due to Goober having thick fat, Goober is able to OHKO the Mega Charizard with a 100% accurate Rock Slide. Oh, did I mention that some moves with 90 and 95 accuracy got buffed to have 100% accuracy? It's changes like these that make Malcard my favorite ROM hack. Typhlosion comes back out and attempts one more Focus Blast, but I protect him by switching to Poseidon. And then after one more switch to Lapras on a 4 times resisted eruption, that's in the oh no, that was a crit. Okay, after starting the Sun out with Protect and then getting a lucky Focus Blast on Gandalf, I can finish off the Sonic OC with 2 more Scorching Sands. That fight got a little bit scary, but we made it deathless. That's Blaine defeated. As a reward for the Care Package cheat, I get given 10 Life Orbs, which to my knowledge is the last Care Package cheat in the game. Now the Care Packages in the mid to late game include situational items like Seeds for Terrains and Nectar for Ikorio. But this cheat is a really good one, as I'm not able to give more than one of my Pokemon Life Orbs. Blaine also says he'll give me a reward if I show him a Pokemon with the high special attack stat. And this time, I had Spoopy, who can evolve into Gengar. This was probably the only real use I used for Spoopy, despite how good Gengar is. 8-Slash was much better by sacrificing his high speeds for high defenses. Blaine then gives me the Choice Max as a reward, allowing our Pokemon to output lots of damage specially. I can also go to the Seafoam Islands and catch an old Sandslash named Spike. The last thing I do on Cinnabar is challenge the Johto Gym with Jasmine. Despite using Steel types, her first 5 Pokemon get melted by Wind and Overwatch over here, and her Mega Aggron is also melted by a Choice Specs Flamethrower from Sonic after some Intimidate support from Mincemeat. Now, I strongly believe that the Steel type is the best type in the game, but they're easily countered by strong Fire, Fighting, and Ground types. If Wukong could have learned a better special fighting type move than HP Fighting and Focus Plus, then he could have easily swept all of Jasmine's teams with the right prep. After beating her, she hands me the Choice Band, completing the trio of choice items. She also asks for Pokemon with high defenses, and I promptly show her my Metal Shield, and as a reward she gives me an Assault Vest, which is like a choice item, but not really. With all these amazing competitive items in a tiny little backpack, it's a straight beeline to the final gem. Except it isn't. Brendan catches up with us and says that Team Rocket has been causing some trouble in the Cerulean Cave. For the people who've played this game before, you know what's coming up. Cerulean Cave is essentially Silphco times 1,000. I can't cheese my way out of these battles this time. Instead of a team map battle, we now have a back-to-back fight with Archer and Ariana, and instead of a regular fight against Giovanni, you know, I'm not even going to talk about that fight yet. You'll see. After Brendan loses to these 2 losers, the admins come clean and talk about how they have no idea whatever the fuck Giovanni's cooking at the cave. Which I find kinda concerning. Like, you're both the admins, like the highest rank before the boss. Shouldn't you know about this? Well, anyways, Archer challenges us to a fight right now. The good thing about this fight is that they only use 4 Pokemon, but this fight is still scary regardless. I lead with Excalibur and Archer leads with Mamoswine. You might think that's a bad lead, which it is, but it's all according to my plan. Mamoswine will always go for Earthquake, so I can switch to Delta, who's immune, and then can set up an Intimidate. With a U-turn, I can then switch to Blaziken while also breaking Mamoswine's Focus Sash. I can then Mega Evolve Spoils Hermanos here, and then Protect to get a free speed boost. And after a last restored Ice Shard, a Sky Uppercut takes it out. Archer, the Mega Brain, then sends out Durant. Which, do I even need to explain? Third is Mimikyu, who is disguised, and will always set up a Swords Dance on the first turn. Now before I continue this fight, I want to talk about something I discovered while prepping for this fight. Now when deciding what Megas to use, I heard from Wolfie VGC that regular Blaziken with the Life Orb actually does more damage than Mega Blaziken. And for people that doubted the former world champion, I have the proof. Here's the calcs against Mimikyu for Mega Blaziken, and here's the calcs for regular Blaziken. If you didn't notice, regular Blaziken holding a Life Orb actually does 1% more damage than Mega Blaziken. Now I was going to go for regular Blaziken, but there's one downside to this, and that is that Blaziken has less bulk than Mega Blaziken. Not only does regular Blaziken have less defenses, it also takes chip damage from the Life Orb. With less bulk and the damage from Mamoswine, I wasn't sure if regular Blaziken was the play, so I went for the safer option. Anyways, that side change was probably worthless and had no reason to be included, but hey, I hope you learned something. Anyways, Mega Blaziken is able to tank the +2 Shadow Stage from Mimikyu, and then I take it out with the Shadow Claw. Last up is Houndoom, but even after Mega Evolution, a Dark Aura boosted Sucker Punch can't teach me out to re-rock this fight with one more Sky Uppercut. That's Archer defeated, but the battle's not over yet, as now it's Ariana's turn. She leads with the Hatterene, and I stuck leading with Excalibur, but this time, we actually have a good matchup, and I'm able to outspeed it and take a Hatterene with one Shadow Claw. Next up is Honchkrow, who has Super Luck and is holding a Scopelands. I switched to Delta to avoid Sucker Punch damage. Honchkrow got buffed from having 71 speed to 96 speed, so it's able to outspeed and deal massive damage with a guaranteed crit Jewel Pack as I go for U-turn. But I'm able to switch to Gooberin, who loses less than half of his HP before taking out the Sinister Bird with a Rock Slide. Third is Rapier, so I switch to Infiltrate on the Earthquake, and after Mega Evolving and taking another Earthquake, I heal back most of the damage and start using Iron Defense. Since Rapier is holding a weakness policy and has the ability Solid Rock, I was originally planning on using Toxic, but I forgot midway. But that doesn't matter though, as Rapier is doing no damage to me. So I Toxic him, and then I heal up any meaningless damage that Rhino does to me before it succumbs to the poison. Last is Ariana's Mawile, who would be a huge threat when a Mega Evolves, but Amphitrite's at max defense. So I just called it out as Mega Wild tries to use 2 Swords Dances. 2 Skulls were enough for the kill, but I got a lucky burn, ending the fight. That's Ariana defeated. But if you thought that fight was hard, wait till you see Giovanni. As I approach him, he successfully catches Mewtwo with a Master Ball. But before he can wreak havoc with his Mega Mewtwo, Lance arrives on the scene, and Giovanni challenges us to a team-up battle. This fight is insane. Just look at his team. He has a Mega Mewtwo, a Tapu Lele, and a Celesteela, as well as an Excadrill that uses the sand made by his Tyranitar, plus a Scrafty, which is pretty bulky. Lance is fortunate enough to have 3 strong Pokemon, including a Dialga. But if I were to wipe now, after how far I'd come, it'd be in this fight. I'm only allowed to use 3 Pokemon as well, so I need to decide who to use. Now, in older versions of Rock Red, that would be it. But in version 3.0, there's just one more thing about this fight. It's just a small change, you know. It's not that big of a deal. It's just that when Mewtwo enters the field, it's in its regular form. And then when it dies, it comes back as Mega Mewtwo Y, resetting all stats and stats effects. Oh, also Mewtwo knows this move called Soul Robbery, which is essentially a 100 base power special psychic type move that acts like Spectral Thief, stealing all stat changes. Yeah, this guy's a fucking monster. Well, this fight is going to be rough, but after some planning, I came up with a plan that revolves around using Gyro, Jolt, and Amphitrite. Let's see how this fight goes. Giovanni leads with Tapu Bulu and Scrafty, and I lead with Gyro as Lance leads with his Dragon Bolt. I go for Protect, anticipating a double up from Tapu Lele and Scrafty. Dragon Bolt again goes for Reflect, allowing me to easily take the double up from both Pokemon. I can then retaliate with an Iron Ball boosted Gyro Ball, which cleanly takes out Tapu Lele. As Celesteela comes out next, I go in for a Protect as Dragon Ball uses Phantom Force. Celesteela unfortunately goes for Automatize, raining his speed. I switch to Jolt and take a Drain Punch from Scrafty. Celesteela goes for Automatize again, and Dragon Ball does about a third with Phantom Force. I didn't anticipate the Automatizes from Celesteela because I made Jolt hold a choice card to outspeed and take it out with Celesteela, but now I have to take an Air Slash before taking it out. Tyranitar replaces Celesteela, and I don't want to take it out yet, fearing Mewtwo coming out. So I make the switch to Amphitrite, who easily takes the double up, as Dragon Ball continues to do more damage with Dragon Darts. I Mega Evolve Amphitrite, and Dragon Ball does some more damage with Dragon Darts, gets taken out by Tyranitar's Crunch. Crafty hits me with a knockoff, and I heal all the damage taken with a Slot Off. Lance then sends out his Dialga, and I Protect as Dialga takes out Crafty and avoids damage from a Rock Slide. At the end of this turn, both Light Screen and Psychic Train wear off, as Giovanni sends out his terrifying Mewtwo. But Amphitrite resists all Mewtwo's moves, so this should be fine. I target Tyranitar down with a Scald and try to save Mewtwo for last. But after taking lots of damage from Mewtwo, I get flinched from Tyranitar's Rock Slide. Okay, things are starting to look bad now. I Protect again as Dialga fails to get Tyranitar with another Dragon Pulse. I attempt to do another risky Slack Off to get all my health back. It could have been bad, but Mewtwo targets Dialga with an Aura Sphere, and Dialga finally takes out Tyranitar, leaving Giovanni with only 2 Pokemon left. I mean, technically 3, but you get the idea. Excadrill comes out last, and I target it with a Scald. Mewtwo tries to finish a Dialga with one more Aura Sphere, but fails to, allowing Dialga to hit with a hard Dragon Pulse. I take a high horsepower and hit Excadrill with a Scald. It doesn't kill, but it gets the burn. I guess my luck starts turning around after that flinch. Mewtwo goes for Expanding Force to finish off Dialga. Excadrill hits me with a burned high horsepower, and I use Slack Off again as I watch Excadrill succumb to the burn. If I didn't have Amphitrite on my team, I don't know how I would deal with this fight right now. With Giovanni down to only his Mewtwo, Lance brings in his Salamence. He Mega Evolves his Salamence as Amphitrite tanks another Soul Robbery before Mega Salamence finishes off Mewtwo with a double edge. The fight's not over though, as Mewtwo goes for the Mega and I heal with Slack Off. But Mewtwo can only bask in its Mega form for one turn, and after getting hit by an Expanding Force, a double edge from Mega Salamence followed by a Scar from Amphitrite takes out Mega Mewtwo, meaning we were able to beat this fight completely deathless. After the fight, Giovanni monologues about how he gave up everything to rule the world, including abandoning his wife and son. I mean, can you just imagine the scenario that went down that day? Like, one day Giovanni decided to rule the world and he left his loving wife and son to do so. That's going to the store and getting some milk on a whole nother level. Archer and Ariana also come to comfort Giovanni and talk about how they're family to him, and whatnot. In the midst of all of this, Mewtwo breaks out of his Master Ball and sends everyone out of Cerulean Cave. I guess that one Whiscash from the anime finally has some competition. Anyways, after all this, Lance just forgives Giovanni and the admins and let them go. They kinda just apologize to promise to new beginnings. I don't think it's the right thing to do, Lance. Like, they're terrorists who have committed lots of crimes. We should probably take them in custody and put them in jail, but whatever, you can't beat the power of fucking friendship, I guess. Well, anyways, we can finally go challenge the Lost Gym Leader, which, surprise, is not Giovanni. It's the Johto Gym Leader, Claire. Would be kinda weird to fight Giovanni again, but whatever. Claire claims she's the second strongest Dragon Trainer behind her cousin Lance, but I'll be the judge of that. As the battle begins, Claire leads with her Aerodactyl, and I lead with Queen Hermit. She unfortunately can't set up a sweep, but she can take her Aerodactyl. By having Hermit no Rapid Spin, Aerodactyl will never go for Stealth Rocks, and it's forced to go for Stone Edge instead. But because of our Chardy Berry, we can take the Stone Edge and impale the Dino with 3 Icicles. Claire then sends out her Magino, which is not a Dragon type. Okay, Claire having 2 poison types is bad, but at least he had a team of fast Pokemon. What the fuck is Magirna doing on Claire's team? I switch to Blaziken on a Shift Gear and Mega Evolve and protect the incoming Floor Cannon while also getting a speed boost. I then go for Filler Bits, but Claire switches to Dragonite. The damage is low, but I managed to break Dragonite's multi-scale. I then switch back to Queen Hermit as Dragonite goes for Dragonite, but Queen Hermit has a lot of defense, so she's able to tank the dual Wing Beat and then send another Dragon to Valhalla with another Icicle Spear. Hermit has skill and cannot battle armor, but I was safe to a single dual wing rate crit. Magina comes back out and I switch to Blaziken on an attack, and I guess Queen Hermit's presence made Magina not want to finish it off, so it goes for another shift here. So I repeat the same charade, protect with Flare Cannon, get Speed Boost, and then finish off Magina with a Flare Burst. I was anticipating Dracovish to come out next, but it's Naganado. Dracovish is holding a Choice Scarf, so maybe the Speed Boost just made the AI not want to push to it. Well, anyways, bad move on the AI, because we just one-shot Naganado with an Earthquake. Dracovish now comes out, anticipating a Fish's Rend, but I switch to Locker so it's Water Absorb. But Dracovish goes for Psychic Effect instead, so I switch to Gyro, who gets some chip damage with Iron Barbs. I then go for Leech Seed for some more damage, but Claire switches to Duraludon, and then Leech Seed misses. Okay, so maybe not every 90% accurate move was buffed, but oh well. I do give Gyro another chance as Duraludon Mega Evolves into Mega Duraludon. This Pokemon is scary. When it Mega Evolves, Mega Duraludon has a new ability called Bad Company, or its localized name is Worst Company. Anyways, this ability prevents self-sat drops and recoil, so it paired up with Duraludon's Draco Meteor and Steel Beam, and this Pokemon is hitting hard. Gyro is able to tank a Steel Beam, and is also able to land a Leech Seed, recovering most of his HP. I go for Protect, but Cliff switches out against two Dracovish. I sub Stealth Rocks to defend any more switches, and start to chip away at the deformed Dino with Leech Seed and Iron Barbs. Dracovish is still hitting hard due to Fish's Rend doubling in the power due to the outspeeding, but I'm able to take it out. Claire's down to her last Pokemon, but the battle is definitely not over yet. I switched to Pingo on a Steel Beam, who tanks it really well, which makes sense because it's 4 times resist to Steel. Duraludon also has Thunderbolt, but I'm safe to a crit, so I clap back with the Earthquake. After I Protect, I switch back to Gyro on a Thunderbolt and attempt to land one more Leech Seed. I am risking a crit, but the trade-off is worth.
You can survive. So we're just gonna just pray you survive this. And don't get crit. Yeah, now land the Leech Seed. What is Leech Seed's accuracy? It's 90 accuracy! How are you missing?
Well, you gotta love 90% accurate moves. You can't always rely on them. It's not like I'm gonna use it for the Elite Four or anything. Anyways, I make one last switch to Blaziken, who does his usual Protect for a Speed Boost, and then topples the Skycreeper with one more Earthquake. That wins us the battle, and gets our final badge. With all 8 badges acquired, there's only one thing left to do now: beat the Elite Four and become the champions, and I think I can proudly say I've done a pretty good job so far. From after beating Coco to beating Claire, I haven't had a single death yet, so this attempt might be the run, but I still have a lot of battles left. One of those fights includes another fight against Shithead, but like all other rival fights against him, I'll just skip it to make my final confrontation against him more anticipating. And after passing the bad check-ins, we're stopped by Brendan, who challenges us to one more battle. And just look at his team. He went from having a normal Hoenn playthrough team to a team with Uber Pokemon in it. His legendary mythical count went from 0 to 4. But I've been in tougher situations before, so this should be nothing. Brendan leads with his Deoxys attack, and I think with the ever-reliable Excalibur. And you should expect nothing less. He takes a Psychic, retaliates with a Shadow Claw to get down Deoxys after his Focus Sash, and then finishes off with his Shadow Sneak. Hontail's out next, so I switch to Pair on a Crunch, and anticipating the switch, I go for Trinket. I was right about the switch as Landorus comes out, but I take a good amount of damage due to Choice Specs. And then, well, I think my Alzheimer's kicked in, because I forget, and mess up a lot. So my counters to Landorus was Spike with a Nice Shine, but I need to get some damage done to it already, which I just got on Landorus. So knowing that Landorus is going for a Sludge Wave now, I can then switch to Spike, who is immune, and snipe the Genie out of the sky. Except, and get this, I forget that Spike was part Steel type, so I switch to Excalibur instead. I didn't realize my mistake as I switched to Delta on Nerve's power. My original plan was to use Delta and get some damage with a Choice Spinning U-turn and then kill with an Ice Shard, but I just switch out instead. Fine, right? Well, you won't believe this. I forgot that I did damage to it already, so I switched back to Delta, and well, this happens.
I meant to say, I went for Sludge Wave? Oh wait, I'm supposed to, I did damage to it. Wait, oh shit.
Okay, in my defense, if I was playing against normal AI, the game would be stupid and go for another rock fight. But the Relic Red AI saw me switching back and forth as stalling, and because of that, Spike got eviscerated by North Sphere. Anyways, I switched to Amphitrite and Pangapulver, who somewhat tanks North's power, and then I proceed to erase Will Smith from the battlefield. Huntail takes 5th place. I switch back to paraphrasing a Crunch, but Huntail goes for Cell Smash instead. Huntail is Water Dark type in the game, so I click Draining Kiss instead of Pika Drain, in case he switches. Now, normally I calculate everything before the fight, and I just kinda assume that Huntail would die to a Choice Specs Draining Kiss.
because it's a Huntail, a Pokemon with special defense of 75. But it lives in the red and apparently has a nasty +2 Ice Fang on turn. I guess that's what happens when you try to use a move that has 50 base power. After another draining his Jirachi takes its place, so I switch to Excalibur on Iron Head. Because of Jirachi's Choice Scarf, it's locked into Iron Head, so I switch to Significant and Zapdos, as I go for a Shadow Claw. Zapdos has a choice band, so I use King Shield to see what move he's going for. The move is Brave Bird, despite having Blaze Kick, so I just tank it and finish it off with another Shadow Claw. Sceptile comes to last, so I switch back to Pear as Sceptile Mega Evolves. Despite being low HP, Pear is able to easily tank an Earthquake from Mega Sceptile and finish off the giant Christmas tree with 2 Drain Kisses. Lastly, Jirachi, so I switch back to Delta on an Iron Head and get an Intimidate off, and then bring an Amatron in. After a heal with Slack off, I'm able to finish off Jirachi with the Fuse Skulls. That is after getting flinched 4 times in a row. Got a little Serene Grace. Anyways, the battle's over, but we didn't lose a friend in the process. After beating Brendan, he gives us a Destiny Knot, which is completely useless, and then he just leaves. When you really think about it, all the things Brendan has given me are completely useless. The XP share in Luck Case are replaced by Many Rare Candies, I couldn't use Trico, and I have no reason to breed my Pokemon at this stage of the game. He did give me the team for Rock Smash, which I used to get the team from Cerulean Cave, but Brendan is really bad when it comes to gifts. I mean, at least analyze my interest and then gives me something good. Anyways, I've now made it to Victory Road, and there are a few battles here that are supposed to be tough, but they're no match for me. There were some close calls, but nothing too important. That is, except for the last fight of Victory Road against Cool Couple Ray and Tyra. But their team consists of a Nidoqueen and a Nidoking. I was gonna outspeed and kill them both with Mincemeat, but he's actually slower than Nidoking due to the natures, and I didn't want to go all the way back to Pokemon Center to change it, so I just gave him a Choice Scarf. But you should know how this goes. I have speed, and I'll both Pokemon. So, yeah, Delta's dead. But I did the calcs, right? And I should have killed them both of them, right? Well, I didn't know something. And that thing is that in double battles, spread moves do less damage. 25% to be exact. And because of that, Delta paid the price. Also, if that move didn't crit, there was a 56% chance I would have lived. Now, normally when a Pokemon dies, I just brush it off, but this did actually hurt me. Delta was one of my first few Pokemon I actively used when I caught all the way back from Pewter City. I used her as my main Intimidate mod and Flying type. To see her come so far and just die is sad. Rest in peace, Delta. May you fly high up to heaven. Well, anyways, now it's time for the lead 4. And there's nothing that can stop me now. Oh no. Whoa, wait, what's this? Who's this guy trying to stop now? No. The gods have spoken. They feared my power. They believed my dream was a mere impossibility, but they were wrong. I mean, could they believe a kid could nuzlock the Unnuzlockable ROM hack? They only had one option left. They sent the creator himself to stop me. I am not remotely prepared for this fight at all. I have no choice but to accept my fate. Supercell, the creator of Ralca Red, challenges me to a fight. He sends out his level 100 Kiklet. I have no choice but to King Shield. And then it just explodes, but that was a mere pity move. As Supercell comes back out and tells me get ready to lose. His second Pokemon is a Shedinja, which I can Shadow Sneak. Okay, but his third Pokemon is a Shedinja. No, but his fourth Pokemon is also a Shedinja. Okay, there's no way he has another Shedinja. No, this one's different. I know it. I King Shield, and then he goes for Phantom Force. And then dies to sand. Okay, but his fifth and final Pokemon is the Shedinja. Okay, is this funny yet? Like, is this stupid? Well, we beat Supercell, who's warned us that he's given Shithead a bunch of sick Pokemon. And then he leaves, like, fuck, like, where's my sick Pokemon? Anyways, after lots of blood, sweat, and tears, we finally made it to the Pokemon League. I have 5 incredibly tough battles coming up, and I can only bring 6 Pokemon for all of them. The only question is, which 6? Well, definitely not Burberry, his has to stay in the box. Before planning, I talked to the guy near the entrance who says he saw Lorelei with his Glaceon. That means we're going up against our Hail team. But the Elite Four can have one of 2 teams, so my teams have to be prepared for both. So after a few hours of planning, I came up with what I believe to be the 6 Pokemon I will take to become champions of Ralca Red. First up is my starter and the Pokemon that's been with me since the beginning, Pear the Meganium. With Triage, he can outspeed everyone, tank lots of hits, and do good damage. Second is Mincemeat the Crocodile. With great attack and access to Earthquake and Wicked Blow, he can hit hard and can provide great support with Intimidate. Third is Jolt the Electivire. While he may not have had much spotlight as the other mons, he hits extremely hard with Iron Fist and punching moves. Fourth is Sonic the Typhlosion. Like his Johto friend, he can outspeed with Blazing Soul and do lots of damage with powerful fire attacks. I can't let Eruption, but I should be fine. Fifth is our trusty Sword and Shield, Hexcalibur the shiny Aegislash. By now you should know what Aegislash can do. He can take lots of hits and dish out tons of damage. And last, but most certainly not least, is Amphitrite the Mega Slowbro. She will be our main Mega and our best defensive tank, who can even sweep with Body Press. Now is this team of 6 Pokemon perfect? Not really. So these 6 Pokemon against 4 Elite Four members and 1 champion. Will I beat everyone and become champions, or is it back to the drawing board on attempt 2? Let's find out. First up is Lorelei. As I mentioned before, we're up against our Hail team. Lorelei's battle is also a dull battle, and she sends out her Glaceon and Ninetales, which sets up the Hail. Now, I did make it this far, but I've been thinking about the sweep to when I started the run. And that sweep involves my Jotonian starters. Sonic knows the move Heat Wave, which is a 95 base power fire type attack that hits both Pokemon. Downside is that Heat Wave is only 90% accurate. It's my only other alternative to Eruption. But that's only a 10% to miss my attack, and the odds are still my favorite. With the choice spec, Sonic can outspeed and one-shot Glaceon and low Ninetales with the priority Heat Wave, and Pear can safely set up Sunny Day for the turn ends, so both my Pokemon are sitting pretty at full HP. Lorelei then sends out her Calyrex, Size, and her Rotom Wash, because of course we need another trainer that uses a Pokemon that's not in her type specialty. Now here is when my non-bulletproof plan goes south, and not the way you think. So, remember how all the way in the beginning of my run, I said,
the amount of priority that charge has is +3, not +1. Hopefully that doesn't bite me in the ass.
Yeah, well, this is the part where it bites me in the ass. Despite having Pear for the whole run, it was at this moment where I decided to go check the Pokédex to see what Charge's priority was. And that's when I learned it was +3. Why is that an issue? Well, this fucking Diplodocus is able to outspeed Sonic the fucking Hedgehog. And because Giga Drain can one-shot, Rotom Wash is very accurate. Sonic's able to get a Heat Wave and even hit an unnecessary crit on Calyrex, but he's just shy of taking out Rotom, allowing the washing machine to paralyze Sonic with Thunder Wave. The good news is that Sonic is still at full HP, so he still has priority of Heat Wave. But the bad news is that I'm now risking the 25% chance of getting paralyzed. But I mean, the odds are still my favor, so yeah. Azumarill, or a second non-ice type, comes out next. Because the sun is still up, Azumarill won't hit Sonic with the Aqua Jet. Sonic also manages to hit both Pokemon, taking out Rotom Wash and doing some damage to Azumarill, but Pear is able to outspeed the Big Rabbit and proceeds to devour it with a Life Orb boosted Leaf Storm. Azumarill was holding a Assault Vest, so that move was the best against it. Last is Lorelei's Abominable, who's still pretty scary. When it Mega Evolves, Mega's Bomb Stone got an increase to its speed as well as the ability Slush Rush. But even with that speed, it can't outspeed Party, and Sonic is extra lucky today, so he's able to incinerate the giant tree monster with some extra help from Pear. That fight was extremely risky, but we pulled through and got it done. Next up is Bruno, the fighting type specialist. The rest of the battles after Lorelei are single battles, so we should be relatively fine about the AI. Bruno can either lead with Urshifu, Rabbit Strike, or Infernape. One lead makes this fight easy as shit, and the other makes this fight a bit complicated. You want to take a guess on which lead is easier? Well, it's not Infernape. If Bruno had led with Urshifu Rabbit Strike, then I could hard switch to Amphitrite, set Iron Defenses, and sweep with Body Press. The problem with Infernape is that he knows Taunt, and could burn with Pyro Ball. Jolt was my lead in case of wins in Overwatch here, so I can use Plasma Fist, followed by a Mach Punch, as Infernape just sets up rocks. Now, the rest of Bruno's team can't do super effective damage to Jolt, so my best guess was that Zacian would come out next. Or you could bring out Urshifu Single Strike, a Pokemon that is weak to fighting. Okay, so this A-Trainer outside of the Elite Four room said that the Elite Four AI can act like some doo-doo, which I'm assuming just happened. Anyways, I made the switch to Infernape on a close combat. Since Urshifu is Scarfed, it switches to Conkeldurr, allowing me to Mega Evolve and get a free Iron Defense. Conkeldurr isn't doing much damage, so I'm able to set up 2 more Iron Defenses and then heal with a Slot Off. And from there, it's a Body Press sweep. Not even a +1 Zacian can do much damage to me. I didn't realize that Komodo was a special attacker, but I can't be crit, and so I one-shot with the Body Press. The same fate also arrives to Urshifu and Mega Lucario. Overall, a pretty easy battle, even though I got the hard team. That's Bruno defeated. Third is Agatha, who can either lead with Zoroark or Grimmsnarl. Now, as much as I love Zoroark, I'm hoping to see Grimmsnarl instead, which I end up seeing. Grimmsnarl has the ability Prankster and knows the moves to Reflect and Ice Screen, but by teaching Excalibur Brick Break, I can make the AI go for Taunt instead, and I can one-shot it with the Gyro Ball. Spectre comes out next, and I switch to Miss Me on the Shadow Ball. Spectre is locked in the Shadow Ball due to its choice card, so it can take one more before one-shotting it with a Wicked Blow. Hydreigon comes out next, so I switch to Pair on Dragon Balls, and you want to guess what I did the 4 times Fairy Weak Hydra? Yeah. Gengar comes out next, and I switch to Mincemeat. He can survive a Sludge Wave from Mega Gengar, but a crit will kill him. But come on, when has risking a crit on a ground type ever gone badly? Thankfully we didn't get creative. My choice scarf I can one-shot Gengar with the Wicked Blow. Marshall comes out after, so I can switch to pair who can easily handle the Ghostly Gremlin with 2 Drain Kisses. Last is Dragon Ball, who shares the exact same fate. Dragon Ball did have cursed bodies, so if that activated, it just could have arisen, but that's how I got that defeated. But the last 3 Elite Four members don't even hold a candle to the difficulty of Lance. Not only does Lance use powerful dragon types, he also has a Primal Dialga, which is basically Dialga on crack. Not only does it have more stats, but also has a new ability called Primal Armor, where a Pokemon takes reduced damage from super effective hits. Lance can either lead with Aerodactyl or Garchomp. Both are equally as difficult, so it doesn't matter. He leads with Aerodactyl, and I lead with Convince Me. Since I know Stealth Rocks, Aerodactyl will always go for Taunt turn 1, so I hit him with a Rock Tomb. Aero has the Focus Edge, and with the Speed Drop I can finish him off with a Wicked Blow, denying any rocks from being set up, which will be very important for the rest of the fight. Dragonfish gets on the field, so I switch to Amphitrite, who takes a shit ton of damage from my Fish's friend. I then start to heal up and get some iron defenses in. You might notice that Amphitrite's not holding a Mega Stone, because that's because I want the rain to be set up when Dialga enters the field, so I have Amphitrite hold a Damp Rock. Dragonfish switches to Dragonite, and then after setting up that last iron defense, Dragonfish comes back out. That doesn't really matter to me, as Dragonfish is doing no damage to me. I take him out with 2 body presses. Dragonite comes back out, and I break his multi-kill with another body press, and then he switches to Salamence. Despite Mega Evolving, a body press just takes it out immediately, and then a few body presses take out Dragonite. And then Metal dies to 1. After I just took out 4 of Lance's Pokemon, which is body press. I wasn't planning on doing that, but the opportunity presented itself. Now last up is Problem Dialga, who is still problematic, so I'm hoping my range strategy works. You might notice that I outspeed Dialga with the Rain Dance, because Roar Time works differently in this game. Instead of being a 150 base power move that forces you to recharge, instead it's an 80 base power move that also functions like Roar. Because of Roar's negative priority, Dialga goes after Amphitrite, and he does a lot of damage to her. But since it's a regular Slowbro, she has the ability to regenerate, making her heal herself when she switches out. Excalibur switched in randomly, and since the rain is up, I anticipate that Dialga will go for a Roar Time, switches to pair, but it goes for a Flamethrower instead, and even in the rain, Flamethrower does a shit ton of damage. Drinking just a speed of damage, so I switch to Jolt on another Flamethrower. I do decent damage with the Brick Break, but Dialga almost just straight kills Jolt with the Roar of Time. I then switch back to Amphitrite again and heal up before taking another Roar of Time, and switch back to Excalibur. I accidentally replaced Shadow Claw with the Brick Break, so I don't do as much damage because it's super effective, and Flamethrower got a burn. Another Slowbro switch and another Roar of Time, another brings Pair back out, and I switch to Sonic and take the Flamethrower. And then I realized my way out. So my plan for Metal was to use Sonic, but when calcing I used a Charcoal instead of a Choice Specs, so I taught Sonic Overheat. But currently in battle, Sonic is holding a Choice Specs and knows Overheat, so I just click Overheat, which even crits, and then the God of Time falls to our Overhood Hedgehog. A close battle, but that's Lance defeated, and all the Elite Four done. And with that victory, we've become Pokemon Champions. Or it would have been if someone else would be the champion before I did. Shithead became champion before, and I need to take what's rightfully mine. But his team is stacked. Pheromosa, Primal Groudon, Yveltal, Eternatist, Imposter Ditto, and Mega Metagross. But we've made it this far, and this is the last battle of the run. If I need to make a few sacrifices, I'm prepared to do so. The battle begins as Shithead sends out Pheromosa, and I send a Excalibur. Pheromosa can't do anything but U-turn, so she does that and switches to Yveltal, as I manage to land Toxins. I was expecting Groudon, but I'll take what I can get. After a King Shield, I switch to Jolt, who not only taints the Dark Root, but also avoids the sleep, and after taking a Sucker Punch, I can take a Yveltal with a Plasma Fist. Pheromosa comes out again, so I rinse and repeat. Switch to Excalibur to avoid close combat, tank U-turn, and land Toxic on the incoming Pokemon. This time, Groudon switches in, so he gets poisoned. And after a King Shield, I need to get a switch for some more Toxic Chip. And well, the choice is obvious. Despite Jolt being a great Pokemon throughout the run, I need to ensure we can make it out, so Jolt falls to a Fire Punch as I switch him in. I then break out Sonic, preparing for another sack and after Protect. But Groudon actually switches out into Eternatist, and I click Scorching Sand, so Eternatist loses a good amount of HP. But that's Sonic's last attack ever, as a Meteor Beam one-shots him. That's 2 Pokemon down, but we can still manage this. I send in Mincemeat for the revenge kill, and with the held Choice Scarf, he's able to outspeed and take out Eternatist with an Earthquake. Pheromosa comes back out, and you'll never guess what I switch to. Pheromosa does for U-turn shenanigans, but this time I nail Primal Groudon with a Shadow Claw. And instead of taking out Groudon with a quick Shadow Sneak, I King Shield him and watch the Dino suffer slowly to the poison. Ditto enters the field and transforms to Excalibur. Shield form Excalibur. So this guy's doing no damage at all as I switch to Misty Beam, and then I one-shot the Imposter with the Wicked Blow. Pheromosa comes back out for the 4th time, so yeah, you know what we did. Instead of going for a U-turn, she decides to attack, but the frail piece gets eviscerated by a Shadow Claw and then a Shadow Sneak. So last is Shithead's Mega Metagross. I King Shield on Mega Evolution, and because we're so tanky, Excalibur easily tames a Tough Claw boosted Fire Punch, and is able to retaliate with a devastating Shadow Claw. And so, with one last Shadow Sneak, Excalibur is able to shut down the Cyber Spider, winning us the battle against Shithead, and completing the Relic of Red Nuzlocked.
That was probably the most fun I've ever had playing Pokemon. Difficult, but fun. And since I beat the Nuzlocke on one attempt and only had 11 deaths, that means my run was better than Jan's run, so I'm technically now the best Pokemon Nuzlocker in the world. Plus I was playing a harder version and I didn't use any legendaries. You see Bourbon over there? I didn't even touch this once! Well, anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. By the time I'm finishing the script, it might be a while before I finish editing the full product. And, yeah, that's very true, since I started this run on September 27th, ended the run on October 24th, which was also Diwali, and finished the script on December 30th. And I finished editing this video on July 25th. Yeah, so most of that wasn't even scored. I just played a shit ton of Overwatch in the first few months and procrastinated a lot. Who knows how long I'll spend on the next video, but we'll just have to wait and see. Oh, and on the topic of Pokemon challenges, he's definitely not seeing this video. Matter of fact, no pro Nuzlocker wants to see this video. I mean, after rewatching this video, my voice sounds so fucking annoying and even makes me want to game in myself. But hey, I'm trying something new, and this is my first ever video, so just try and be nice, please. Well, that's all there is to now. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications for any upcoming videos, which will be a while. Well, this has been PokeCheck, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care, everyone.